Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Guys, look at the stream. What you are seeing there is what we are about to cut right now. You see that beautiful Bubu stylish gown with a front button. It has a button and a plain material, plain design at the body down and the sleeve. Okay, and also it has a, so if that's what you want to learn how to cut, then please stay tuned and watch till the end. And if the video you are watching you really like it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and share this video to your friends. Okay, so guys, as you can see on my cutting table, I've already folded my fabric and I have two pieces of Ankara fabric here. So as you can see, I mark out 1.5 inch for the bottom blanket. So this one under is my front and this one on top will serve as my back bodies. Okay, so right now all I have to do is to mark out the length of the gown that I'm cutting. So the length of the gown is 39 inches, and remember it will have a stripe at the down part, so you'll be the one to determine how many inches you want your stripe to be. Okay, this mark line will be my starting line. So the length of the gown is 39 inches plus folding allowance, but because it will have stripe, I won't be adding the folding allowance. Okay, so I'll minus 4 inches for the stripe, or for the stripe on the down part, so I'll be having 35 inches. Then on this 35 inches, I'll be adding half inch on the down part and half inch on the upper part for the joining allowance. Okay, so that will give me 36 inches. So I'll be marking out 36 inches. So after marking this 36 inches, the next thing I have to do is to divide my shoulder measurement by 2. That's 14 divided by 2 is 7. Then I'll be adding extra 5 or 6 inches, because remember the sleeve also has a stripe too. So I'll be adding extra 6 inches for the sleeve, because it's a together sleeve. So 6 inches plus for the sleeve. Then my stripe will be like 2.5 inches or 3 inches. So after that, I will determine the wideness of the sleeve, which is I'll be marking out 10.5 inch for the sleeve opening. 10.5 inch. On this sleeve opening, I will divide the biggest circumferences by 4, which is the hip. The hip is the biggest body measurement. So the hip measurement is 36 divided by 4 will give me 9. I'll mark 9. Then I'll be adding 2 inches for freeness and 1 inch for the joining allowance. That's 3 inches. So I'll be adding the 3 inches, making it 12. So whatever I mark on the this as bust line is what I'll mark to the end part of the gown, which is 12 inches. So I'll connect it straight. Either you do a free hand or you use your ruler. So after connecting it on this part, I'm going to curve the sleeve because I don't want the sleeve to be sharp. So I'm going to curve the sleeve area. So after that, the next thing is to mark 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and I'll connect it back to the shoulder line. After that, the next thing is to mark the back neckline. So the depth for the back neckline is 1.5 inch and the wideness is 3 inches. Then the front neckline, the depth is 7 inches or 7.5, and the wideness is 3 inches. So I'll connect it back to the 7 inches. So after connecting back the neckline, the next thing I have to do now is to cut it out. This is a free Bubu gown, so and I'm marking this for a slimmer person. So I'll start with the shoulder slope, then the neckline for the back. Then I would mark back the neck front so I can be able to connect it. Watch how I am cutting this front neckline. I'll cut it straight, then getting to the 1.5 inch for the bottom blanket, then I'll get the V shape. Then I'll slit the bottom blanket open. Then I'll cut out the full length. Then the sleeve. And I'll cut out the rest, following the curve that I made on the sleeve. So this is what I have for the front and the back. So the next thing I have to do now is to cut out a stripe that I'm going to use for both the down part and the sleeve. So on the sleeve line, I'll be cutting out on fold 2.5 inches, which if you open it, it will give you 5 inches. I will cut it on fold 2.5 inches. Okay, then on the down part, remember I might lost 4 inches, so I'm going to cut 4.5. The half inches will be for the joining allowance. Okay, okay guys, I've cut out the lining. I needed to use lining on this tab because it's very light. So this is for the front. So I'll use this lining I'll place one of the lining at the right side. This is one piece of the front. I'll place the lining here like this, and I'll use it to turn the neck. I'll sew the neck here. I'll use it to turn up this bottom blanket, and I'll do the rest to the two pieces, both the front and back. This is the back also. I will use this lining to turn up the neck. I'll use the lining to turn up the neck. So I'll place the lining at the right side of the fabric. As you can see, this is the back and this is the right side and this is the lining. So I'll sew the neck and I'll flip it over. At this point, my mark has off and I didn't notice. So as you can see, I've turned up the neckline with the lining. I've sewed the bottom blanket. I've do the turning up both the two sides, and I've ironed it very neat. Very neat. Neat ironing is very important. So the next thing is to place the blanket, the bottom blanket on top each other. Remember, it will have button. Okay, and I did 1.5 inch for the bottom blanket, and I use 1/2 inch to turn in the lining. So I will have 1 inch. I'll use 1/2 inch for the turn up. I'll have 1 inch left for the button. So then the back also, I've already turned up the neck. As you can see, I've turned it and I've sewed the both side and I've ironed it neatly. So the next thing is to place the back on the front body, placing it right side facing right side. Then I'll be joining the both shoulders. Then after joining it, I'll be closing the side with 1 inch. Remember, 1 inch is my joining allowance, so I'll be closing it with 1 inch. Then after that, the next thing is my the strap, the band on the sleeve. I've already cut it out. I cut it on fold 2.5 inches, which is, if you open it, is 5 inches. So I'll be putting it on the both sleeve. After joining the stripe on the sleeve, the band on the sleeve, the next thing is the down part. It will also have a band, a plain band on it. So this is, I cut this on fold 10 inches, sorry, on fold 4.5 inches, which if you open it, it will be giving you 8 inches. So I've joined the sleeve band, as you can see, and I've pressed it very flat. I've joined the both sleeve, and I've also joined the down part. I've joined the down part. I closed the both side with 1 inch. I joined the both side, as in I closed the side with 1 inch before joining the side, the down part, the band. And looking at the inside, you will see how very neat it is. I make sure that I iron it very flat. So the next thing I have to do now is to flip it over, turn it to the back. I need to turn it to the back because I need to mark the where my drawstring will be. I need to mark it, so I have to turn it to the back. And now I need to measure the length of the drawstring. So the length will be my half length, which is from shoulder to my 17 inches. Your half length might be 20 inches, it might be 18 inches, but mine is 17 inches. So I have to mark it all around the waist. I have to chalk all around the waist so that I will know where to sew. And after chalking it all around the waist, I need to cut out a stripe. Unfold is 1 inches, which is, if you open it, it will give you 2 inches. You understand? So I will take that stripe and I'll fold it. Folding it will give me 1 inch. I will fold it and I will sew it all around the waist. I'll sew it all around the waist because that's where the drawstring will pass through. The rope for the drawstring will pass through. And if you're sewing this part, you got to be careful. You need to be very careful while sewing it. Excuse me. So I've sewn the stripe on the waist. I've already sewn it. I've already ironed it. So the next thing I have to do now is to join, as in to fix the rope through it. And in order to fix the rope, I need my safety pin, and also need to open a small part from the beginning, from that waistline. So I've opened it and I'm passing through the rope through the stripe that I sew. So I'll proceed. If you have watched my video to this point, please like, share, subscribe, share my video to your friends. Support me. The more you support me, the more I grow, the more I make more videos. So when I get to the end, I have to open the other part of it also, so that the drop will come out through there. And I was trying to arrange the cloth for you to see the look. I was trying to arrange it. Remember, this cloth has button, and I will fix the button from the neckline down to the full length of the gown. I'll fix the button. So this is the rope, and this is what it looks like after tying it, and this is the final result after. So I have not attached my button here, so I will do so. Thank you guys.